Hello, guys. Welcome to the Empty Water Bottle Podcast. That's what we agreed on, right?
Yes, sir.
And today we are going to be talking about the reason why Xavier's gone from WEW. This is a very long story. How long would you say it is? Yeah, how long would you say it is? Like the story, like how far or how long we've known Xavier for?
Jesus. maybe early 2020.
Yeah, for me, I knew him like late 2019, but you met him like early 2020.
Right.
We can't specify obviously who it is. It's just Xavier. We're just gonna go with that. You know, Xavier from WEW. That's the best.
I don't know. That's all I know him by. So.
Yeah, Xavier. Yeah. So. Okay, how are we gonna start off?
Well, the only way there is to start it off. I mean.
So.
Me and him never really liked each other.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Never.
So
I just didn't like him.
And then it led to more.
I don't really like him still. I just really don't have a problem with him. So I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird situation.
It's just like, you don't like him, so you're not gonna beat yourself with it. You're not gonna. Yeah. So this all started. We met each other through YouTube, surprisingly, because he commented on one of my videos. I responded, and then we eventually got each other's Discord, and we had a political argument.
Political, yes.
Yeah, and then that led to an argument that Xavier and Jackson had. Jackson say a couple things, or the main thing that Xavier did in that argument.
Well, it's just one thing I would like to just put out there. I said something I probably shouldn't have. I said it when I was younger, and I had no thoughts really on the subject that I said. Now that it's a very big thing, I would say I do apologize, but he kind of deserves it. You know, it's just he's not a good person at all.
Yeah. So
I mean that deeply.
Yeah. So like, he said something about your parents that are split up.
Yeah. His I told him like, you're nothing. I told him, he doesn't know what I don't necessarily know myself what suffer, quote unquote, quotations in the fingers, suffering, but I know what it feels like, when you go through some shit like that. It's not the best.
Yeah.
And then there's people, people have way worse. I have it pretty good, but I could be better.
Yeah.
Parker here has it really good. Couple arguments here and there, but family's still one.
Yeah.
How does that feel,
obviously.
Parker? How's that make you feel?
I guess pretty good. I don't. But that's mainly not the topic of the podcast.
No, it's just he's just mouths off. He's not a good person whatsoever.
And the reason why we're bringing this up,
if you're looking for a good friend, you'll do stuff for him, and he'll do stuff for you. He's not that guy.
Yeah. So
if you're let's example why he was really not in WEW. Sorry, because he's trying to control the show.
Well, I wouldn't say control the show. I'd say control his character specifically. Because let's go from the very beginning. Let's go from the very beginning. So on the first episode of WEW, stupid 7th grade me thought that it'd be a good idea to put Jackson up against Xavier in the first episode. I was like, hey, I have customs of him, so might as well. Jackson beat Xavier twice.
That's just how it rolls. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. So
I'm just far more superior than he is.
Yeah, and then we had another argument, me and Xavier. So then we decided to kick him out of WEW for the time being. For the time being, at that moment, the we're talking beginning WEW. So later on, I decide, let's bring him back, right? So I had this developmental brand. It's kind of like NXT called WEW Light, where people develop their characters and then I would bring them up to the main show. Xavier was the first WEW Light champion, winning it at WrestleMania, the first WrestleMania. After this, he would continue to defend the title a couple times, but then I brought him up to the main roster. And the first day he came back to the main roster, the first episode, he won the United States Championship. That title is very important in the history of WEW because Jackson was the first United States champion.
Amen.
He actually beat Xavier on episode 3 for the championship in the match where we crowned the
like I said, I'm just far more superior than he is.
Yeah, exactly. So after that, Xavier was fine. You know, he finally got to beat Jackson at WrestleMania. Which, you know, I knew I shouldn't have done it. Because, like, I didn't know if it would set you off, Jackson, necessarily. I don't think it did until...
What?
Xavier beating you at WrestleMania. No, I didn't exactly think so. But it's just...
Off the storyline, I'm not fazed whatsoever.
Yeah, because if we're talking, like, story-wise, it made sense.
It made sense. And my character's like, oh, it sucks. But me, I could care less.
Because at that time, you were the bad guy in the story. But anyways, so a couple months later, I want Xavier to lose to a certain individual. Jackson, don't say his name, because we're going to put him on the show in a different way. I don't want to spoil who it is. I wanted him to lose to a certain person, and it's someone he didn't want to lose to, and Xavier had only lost once since he came back at that point. So I'm going to look back on some of the messages traded back and forth. So he said
Another thing I'd like to say, you would end up claiming I was the problem.
Yeah.
For the reason. I mean, I would say I'm not necessarily in a way, like, I was just talking bad about him, like, Parker, you don't need this. He's not a good person. So, seeing one of my best friends go through this doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah, definitely. So, if I look at the things, the texts, it got to a boiling point, because after he said he doesn't want to lose to that certain person, he said there will be some bad news if I lose to him. I said, this is my show. He can't tell me what to do. So then I devised a plan. So I called you, and we made an agreement that you would beat him for the championship.
Right.
So after that happened, he said...
The whole point was to get him fired up.
Yeah.
Yes, essentially.
So then he said, I always tried to be friendly, professional. You always seem to screw me out of things. Stuff like that. Trash talking you. And stuff like that. And then I said... And then he started saying, my brother said if I don't get a year of terror or a reign of terror with the WW Championship, I'm going to kick you off of commentary of HCW and I'm going to leave WW, blah, blah, blah. And a couple hours before that, after we were somewhat friendly with each other again, he was sending me memes and stuff. So I said, just a couple hours ago, you were sending me memes and now you're demanding stuff from me and making threats. And plus, it's kind of a wussy move to, like... only start making moves when your brother tells you to. You know what I mean, Jackson?
Yeah, that's just not too rad.
And then he said, you never give me respect. And then I said, give me a break. And because, like, the thing is, I gave him respect right when he came back. he won the WW Light Championship. And then right when he got back to the main roster, he won the United States Championship, and he was on like a long undefeated streak.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he beat you at WrestleMania, which, again, I kind of regret. I just don't get it. So, that's like
it's something that happened when you were, like, kind of fooled by Mr.
I was just trying to, I was trying to make a new star.
Right.
I wasn't thinking about exactly who it was, because I obviously I knew it was Xavier, but I was like, I kind of do need to build a new star, so I was just doing that with Xavier and stuff, and he was gonna win the WW Championship. That's the thing. He was gonna win it in a couple months, and obviously not anymore, because after he lost to the certain person I wanted him to lose to for the United States Championship, he was going to win the title a couple months later, but then I released the episode where Xavier beats Jackson. Or no, I released that before the text. He watched it. Or no, all he did was see the thumbnail, and he automatically knew.
Right.
So then that's when he sent the... And then that's when we got into the very, very mean texts. And then, if we go back, after all those texts, right? After all those texts, we were getting somewhat friendly again. Somehow. We were...
And then once again, Parker fell for the bait.
And then if I look at this, he says, "Can you delete episode 33?" The episode, where Jackson beats Xavier again for the title. And I was like, no, obviously not. Obviously not. So basically, my guess is that he was acting friendly with me to get to get me to delete episode 33.
Right.
And then he tried to spin it on me like he was joking around. He's like, it was just a joke. Why do you just have to take everything so seriously?
Right.
And that made me mad. Like, it's just, and I guess now we haven't called each other since like a couple days ago, or like yesterday or the day before or something. And it's just, he thinks we're all fine and dandy right now. But the truth is...
rainbows and butterflies.
But the truth is, you can't just simply erase everything that happened.
Yeah. Whatever.
So, point being is, Xavier's out of WEW. I even took him out of the active roster page, because in my description in my channel, I have a list of active roster members. It's like, you're in that list, I'm in that list, everyone's in the list. Xavier was in that list, but I have taken him out. And heck, even afterwards, even after I told him he was out of WW, he was still asking for the championship.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, how about I win the championship and then I take it over to my show, HCW. And then
no.
in storyline, he was going to trash WW, saying I didn't book him well, which we all know that's how he truly thinks.
Right.
So it's just so, and I said no. I was like, the most I can do for you is I can have you retire with the championship and give it up after one day. And he was complaining, and I'm like, you're lucky enough. I'm not considering like permanently taking you out of WW. And I am. That's the thing, I am. But it's just like, I was gonna have him make Royal Rumble appearances until he made that offer about, oh, I'll just take your championship over to my show. It'll benefit both of us.
How about no?
My show. Obviously, it can grow, but it's like,
it's far more superior than his is.
Well, yeah, it's like, well, mine has like original characters, and not a lot of people want to see that exactly, but WrestleMania did get like 56 views or something like that, and that's pretty okay for my standards.
It's pretty okay for Parker standards.
So it's just, even after all that, he's still complaining and asking for the championship.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of him. Never have been, really.
And as you know, I made the announcement on my channel about a second brand, or a second pick fed for WW called PCW, and that was I was gonna have Xavier book the show. I thought, hey, that'd be fun. He's gonna let me book his second show for HCW, so I'll let him book my second show for WEW.
Why not? Why not have him on there? And then
he still thinks he's gonna, yeah,
screwing it up.
Yeah, and he still thinks he's making the show. He still thinks he is.
Oh, right. He still thinks he's making it.
Yeah. So, I think we've covered everything, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, 15 minutes or 17 minutes, depending on how long this outro is. That isn't too bad for our first episode.
Long story short, Xavier parody, not your go-to guy.
Yeah.
You want a go-to guy, hit up Parker. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
Who's your buddy? Who's your pal? Parker's your buddy.
Yeah, it's just, this whole situation has been crazy. And I wish I could keep it the way it is right now with Xavier, where we're like nice to each other. We haven't gotten to an argument for like 2 days. Oh, world record.
Hey, world record.
But at the same time, I gotta release all this. It's like a way for me to get all the anger out. You know what I mean?
Get something off your chest.
I have to, because, like, they don't know the history with Xavier. They don't know why he was kicked off in the first place. Well, not until, now, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we touched everything.
Yeah.
So,
pretty much.
So, we're going to have our own channel for the Empty Water Bottle Podcast. This episode will be exclusive to the Parkagen channel, because no one outside of this channel knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, link will be in the description to the Empty Water Bottle YouTube channel. And,
amen.
That's about it. Jackson, any last words for this podcast?
I'm glad Parker's free from his restraints.
Yeah, hey, ever since he lost the United States title, I brainstorming. I can actually brainstorm for that title now without having to get permission.
Have people that you've wanted to before inside your show.
Yeah, like I don't have to get permission from Xavier for him to lose the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
pretty much you have some range.
Mm-hmm. And now it's not just the WEW title. I can also do what I want with the United States title, too.
Amen.
Jackson holds it with honor.
Just the way it is.
Yep. So, this has been it for the first Empty Water Bottle Podcast. A link will be in the description to the channel just for these podcasts. I hope everyone watching this has a great day. No, not just a great day, a great week.
Yeah.
And,
hope you guys are doing well. Hope your families are well. I hope your grandparents are well. And I hope you, most importantly, are doing good.
Yeah, getting specific. Okay.
That'll be it.
Yep, this has been the Water Bottle Podcast, the Empty Water Bottle Podcast, and we'll see you guys next time.
Amen.